Welcome. Welcome. One of my teacher's favorite stories is of two men who would meet each year on pilgrimage. And they were coming from different parts of India. They were both relatively successful small businessmen, and they would meet each year and talk about their different strategies for how to raise their family and how to not spoil the kids with the money and make sure everybody's well taken care of but not too well off. And then they'd have their good time, and they'd meet each year. And then one year, after one man didn't show up, and after several years of not showing up, his friend went to look for him to find out why he hasn't been coming on his pilgrimage. And he went back to the village to find his friend, and when he walked into the compound, he couldn't believe his eyes that everybody was living in poverty. The daughter had been taking in washing, and the kids were dropped out of school, the boys dropped out of school and were working in the fields, and the mother was sitting her grinding wheel, grinding neighbors' wheat. And he said, "What happened? I can't believe it. I came to find my friend, and what happened to him?" She said, "Well, a few years ago, he was suddenly, when he was out on a walk, he was bitten by a snake and he died." And he said, "Well, that's horrible. I'm so sorry to hear it, but didn't he get to speak to you before he died?" And she said, "No, he just died in the forest, and when we found him, he was already dead. And so he never got to tell you." And she said, "No, tell me what?" He said, "Well, under your grinding stone is a fortune in gold. Just stop your grinding. Lift off this burden of the stone. There's a fortune in gold." So my teacher would love to say that at that point, she didn't even have to stop the grinding. She already knew it was true and became very happy. And that's the situation that we're all in now. Everyone's grinding. And this grinding is being run by fear. And so we have a world of fear. Everyone furiously grinding away as best they can, afraid to stop. And under the grinding is the treasure, already here. And so that's why we're here. To leave the millstones and grinding stones at the door. To stop everything. To realize what's already here. To realize it directly. First you hear the good news. She heard the good news and became instantly happy. But then, the good news is not enough. You have to then find it for yourself. You have to actually stop the grinding, pick up the stone, and find the truth of what's here in your own experience. Otherwise, it just becomes a myth, or it becomes a religion. It becomes a good thought that you can remember as you're grinding that under the stone, really, there is this treasure. And so we're here to stop, to put it all down, to be open to receive what's already here. And this way first we serve ourselves, and then in that we serve the world. It becomes a living possibility. You become the living possibility. You become the good news for everyone you meet. Everyone you meet is grinding, and you become the living truth. You can stop the grinding. You can find what's here. You can realize the truth for yourself. And it's so sad to see in this election that's happening, this such a crucial election, that even the people who are voting in what I would say is for the right person, they're doing it out of fear. People are voting out of fear. They're voting out of their own terror of their economic situation. They're not voting for what's true or what's right or what's good or has integrity. They're voting for who's going to best take care of their own short-term economic interests, it seems. And so, that in itself, that's making a right decision from a wrong motivation, it ultimately doesn't serve. So it's the culture of fear that has to be addressed. And that has to start with each one of us. To be willing to stop being ruled by the culture of fear that lives inside our heads. Because that's what keeps the grinding stone spinning. And naturally, each one of us as animals has a natural fear for survival. It's imprinted, of course. If we didn't have that, we are descendants of those who had it and survived. The ones that had no fear didn't make it. The ones that had fear of survival survived and passed it on. They were cautious, they were careful, they planned, they did things to ensure the survival of their children. It's useful, but it's run amok. It's out of control. Because most of the people who are voting out of fear, they are surviving. It's not about where the next meal is coming from. And so each one of us, we're already surviving. It may not be true in a few years, but right now we can say, here we are. We have enough. Do we still have to follow the patterns of neurotic preoccupation with the fear? Figuring it out, worrying about the bills, worrying about health, worrying about future, worrying about savings, worrying about the market, worrying, whatever it is, figuring it out, doing it in your head. Whatever your particular pattern might be. And so to be able to stop all that, for just a moment, to stop all worries, all concerns, to be able to absolutely be still, to find what's already here. That's why we're here. And this takes no work, no effort. It's the end of work and effort. Countless generations of work and effort have brought us to the moment where each one of us can stop, can examine for ourselves in complete stillness, effortlessly, what is already alive, what is already here, what is already present, alive inside each one of us, the same.